Close your eyes for a moment and listen. Not with your ears, but with your spirit. There is a shift happening. Can you feel it? Something within you is being called higher. But the question is, are you ready? Many ask for change, but few are prepared to receive it. A shift does not come with comfort. It comes with the unsettling of everything familiar. It comes with the removal of what no longer serves you. It comes with the divine rearranging of your life. The mistake most people make is they resist the shift. They cling to old ways, old thoughts, and old versions of themselves. But what you hold on to is what keeps you bound. If you refuse to release, you refuse to rise. God is shifting you into something greater. But before you can step into it, you must let go of what is holding you back. Do you trust the unseen? Do you trust that the discomfort you feel now is part of a divine plan? Stop looking at your circumstances as obstacles. They are not barriers, they are signs. Every delay, every closed door, every ending, it is all orchestrated to move you to where you are meant to be. If you are ready for this shift, then walk in it. Stop waiting for proof. Stop waiting for confirmation. Speak as if it is already yours. Feel as though you have already arrived. The moment you do, reality will bend to match your faith. Every great transformation begins within. Long before circumstances shift, before doors open, before the visible world reflects change, something deep within must first be renewed. The world around you is only a mirror, reflecting the assumptions, beliefs, and inner conversations that dominate your mind. If you desire a new reality, you must first create it internally. Most people believe that change is something that happens to them, something external that must first appear before they can believe it to be real. They wait for signs, for proof, for tangible evidence that something is different. But in truth, the process is the opposite. The external world is not the cause, it is the effect. The true shift happens first in the unseen, in the thoughts you entertain, the emotions you nurture, and the convictions you hold. Imagine for a moment that your mind is like fertile soil. Whatever you plant within it, whether seeds of abundance or seeds of lack, will eventually grow into your experience. The challenge is that many people unknowingly plant weeds while wishing for a harvest of prosperity. They say they desire change, yet their inner dialogue contradicts their spoken words. They may long for love, yet they harbor thoughts of unworthiness. They may dream of success, yet they entertain fears of failure. The mind cannot produce a life beyond its dominant thoughts. What you dwell upon persistently becomes the blueprint of your reality. This is why it is not enough to simply wish for change. A wish is weak. It is fleeting, unstable, and easily swayed by doubt. A true shift requires something deeper, a conviction, a knowing, an unshakable assumption that what you desire is already yours. It requires the discipline to reject old thought patterns, to silence the voice of fear, and to embrace a new state of mind that aligns with the life you seek. Consider the power of assumption. Every moment you are assuming something about yourself, about life, about what is possible for you. These assumptions are not neutral. They are creative forces shaping your path. If you assume struggle, struggle will find you. If you assume ease, doors will open effortlessly. The mind, when left unchecked, tends to repeat the same familiar narratives, reinforcing the same reality over and over again. But the moment you take conscious control of your assumptions, you take control of your destiny. This is where most people falter. They attempt to change outwardly while remaining the same inwardly. They work harder, push more, force circumstances to bend, yet nothing seems to change. Why? Because their core belief system has remained untouched. They have tried to rearrange the shadows without altering the light source. True transformation is not about manipulating the external. It is about shifting the internal. When the mind fully embraces a new state of being, the outer world must conform. It has no choice. Think of a person who has been struggling financially. They may work tirelessly, pursue every opportunity, and still find themselves barely getting by. This is because they have not yet shifted their inner state. Deep down, they may hold beliefs about scarcity, about money being difficult to attain, about success being reserved for others. Until these beliefs are uprooted and replaced with new ones, beliefs of abundance, ease, and deservingness, their external reality will continue to reflect lack. But the moment they truly shift in their mind, when they fully embrace abundance as their natural state, life will begin to reshape itself in miraculous ways. Opportunities will present themselves, resources will flow, and what once seemed impossible will become effortless. The same applies to love, health, personal growth, every aspect of life. The world responds to your dominant inner state, not to fleeting wishes or half-hearted affirmations. This is why change must begin with awareness. Pay attention to the thoughts that run through your mind daily. Observe your inner conversations. Are they aligned with the life you desire, or are they reinforcing the very reality you wish to escape? Once you become aware, the next step is discipline. It is not enough to notice negative thoughts. They must be replaced with new ones. This is not an overnight process, but a continuous practice. Just as a gardener tends to his land, removing weeds and nurturing the seeds he wants to grow, so must you tend to your mind. You must consciously assume the state you desire, think from it, and persist in that assumption even before any evidence appears. This is where faith comes in. Not blind faith, but the faith that comes from understanding how reality truly works. The moment you shift internally, the external must follow. It may not happen instantly, but it will happen. The world cannot help but reflect the dominant state you hold within. Your job is not to force or struggle, but to maintain that inner knowing until the outer world catches up. The key is persistence. Many people begin this process with enthusiasm, but the moment they see no immediate change, they revert to their old ways of thinking. This is like planting a seed and then digging it up each day to check if it has grown. True transformation requires patience. Hold firm to your new state, trust that it is already done, and refuse to be swayed by appearances. In time, you will see the undeniable truth. The shift always begins in the mind. And once the mind has changed, reality has no choice but to follow. Change is a natural and constant force in life, yet many resist it. Not because they do not want better, but because they fear the unknown. The familiar, even when it is painful, feels safe. The mind clings to what it has known, even if that very thing is the source of suffering. But resistance to change does not stop the shift from happening. It only delays it. It prolongs the struggle, intensifies discomfort, and makes the process more difficult than it needs to be. Imagine standing at the edge of a river, holding onto a rock while the current pulls at you. The flow of life is urging you forward, but your grip remains tight. You fear that if you let go, you might be swept away into chaos. Yet what you do not realize is that the current is carrying you towards something greater. The struggle, the exhaustion, the pain, it all stems from resisting the natural flow. If you would only release your grip, you would find that the river knows exactly where to take you. This is how resistance operates in our lives. It comes in the form of doubt, fear, and attachment to old patterns. People say they want change, yet they refuse to let go of what is keeping them bound. They want abundance, but hold on to a scarcity mindset. They desire love, but cling to past hurts. They seek success, but remain trapped in self-doubt. And so, despite all their efforts, nothing truly changes, because deep down, they are still holding on to the version of themselves that belongs to the past. Surrender is the key. But surrender is not weakness. It is not giving up or becoming passive. True surrender is the willingness to trust the unseen, to step forward without needing to control every detail, and to release the need to know how everything will unfold. It is understanding that there is a greater intelligence guiding your path, one that operates beyond logic and human reasoning. The ego thrives on control. It wants certainty. It wants guarantees. It wants to map out every step before moving forward. But the nature of transformation does not work that way. If you demand to see proof before believing, you will forever be stuck in the same loop. The shift happens only when you allow yourself to believe first, when you trust that what you desire is already unfolding, even if there is no visible evidence. Many people delay their progress because they are waiting for conditions to be perfect. They tell themselves they will take action when they feel ready, when they have more money, when they receive a sign, when circumstances align. But what they do not realize is that waiting itself is a form of resistance. The universe responds to movement, to faith, to action taken in belief, not to hesitation and doubt. The longer you wait, the longer you remain in the same reality. Letting go does not mean abandoning responsibility. It means releasing attachment to how things must happen. It means freeing yourself from the weight of overthinking, from the need to force outcomes, from the habit of second-guessing yourself. It means stepping into the unknown with confidence, knowing that whatever lies ahead is meant for you. Fear is the greatest anchor holding people back. The fear of failure, the fear of making the wrong decision, the fear of disappointment. But what if you reframed fear? What if, instead of seeing it as something to avoid, you saw it as a sign that you are on the right path? Growth always feels uncomfortable at first. Every great shift requires stepping beyond what is familiar, and with that comes uncertainty. But uncertainty is not your enemy. It is the space where miracles unfold. Trusting the unseen means believing that what you desire is already on its way, even if there are no signs yet. It means choosing to feel the joy, the abundance, the success, the love before it arrives. Because the moment you stop resisting and start embodying the new reality, everything around you will begin to shift. But trust requires patience. Many give up too soon because they do not see instant results. They revert to old patterns, returning to their comfort zone, and then wonder why their life remains the same. The truth is, reality reshapes itself in response to the inner world, but it takes time for the physical to catch up with the spiritual. Impatience is another form of resistance. It is an unconscious declaration that you do not truly believe the shift is happening. This is why surrender is so powerful. When you stop resisting, stop overanalyzing, stop questioning every step, you create space for transformation, you open the door for the new to enter, you move with the current instead of against it, and suddenly, what once felt impossible begins to unfold effortlessly. The shift is already in motion. The question is, are you flowing with it or fighting against it? Your ability to move into the life you desire depends entirely on your willingness to let go. Let go of fear. Let go of control. Let go of the belief that you must struggle. When you surrender, you align yourself with the flow of life. And in that flow, everything you seek will find you. Everything in your life is shaped first in the unseen before it manifests in the physical world. Whether you realize it or not, you are always imagining something. Your mind is constantly picturing events, outcomes, and possibilities. The question is, are you imagining what you desire, or are you reinforcing the same patterns that keep you stuck? Because what you persistently see in your mind, whether consciously or unconsciously, prepares the way for what unfolds in your reality. The power of imagination is often overlooked because it seems too simple. People assume that change requires effort, struggle, and external action, yet they fail to recognize that action alone, without a shift in perception, leads to the same results. The outer world is only a reflection of the inner world. You cannot experience a reality you have not first accepted and embodied within your mind. When God is shifting you into a new season, you must align yourself mentally and emotionally with where you are going, not where you have been. Too many people sabotage their progress by continuing to see themselves as they were, instead of embracing who they are becoming. They pray for abundance while still seeing themselves as struggling. They ask for love while holding on to the belief that they are unworthy. They seek opportunities while picturing failure. And so, despite their desires, they remain in the same reality because their imagination is still tied to the past. Imagination is not fantasy. It is the creative power that brings forth reality. It is the bridge between where you are and where you are meant to be. If you can see it clearly in your mind, feel it as if it is already happening, and persist in that vision, the world around you must eventually conform. This is not wishful thinking. It is a fundamental law of life. Every great shift begins with a change in perception. Before a door opens in the physical world, it first opens in your imagination. If you cannot see yourself walking through it, you will not recognize it when the opportunity presents itself. If you cannot picture yourself as successful, confident, and fulfilled, no amount of effort will override the deep-seated belief that you are not. This is why aligning your imagination with the new reality God is leading you into is crucial. Most people are ruled by their external circumstances. They look at their current situation, and instead of using imagination to create something new, they reinforce what already exists. They say, this is just the way things are, and so they continue living the same story. They allow temporary setbacks to define them permanently because they cannot see beyond the moment. But those who understand the power of imagination do not let present circumstances dictate their future. They persist in their vision even when nothing seems to be changing, because they know that the unseen reality is just as real, if not more real, than what their senses perceive. The key is persistence. A single moment of visualization will not create lasting change. You must make your new reality so familiar in your mind that it becomes your natural state. It is not enough to imagine something briefly and then return to old doubts and fears. You must dwell in the new state, feel it, embody it, live as if it is already true, because in a deeper sense, it is. The moment you accept a new reality internally, the external world begins to shift to match it. There is no need to force or struggle. The work is in shifting your awareness, in maintaining the vision despite appearances, in trusting that what you see within will soon be seen without. When you remain faithful to the unseen, when you refuse to let doubt shake your conviction, you align yourself with the flow of divine movement. Suddenly, doors open effortlessly. Circumstances rearrange, people and opportunities show up at the right time. What once seemed impossible becomes inevitable. Many fail because they allow themselves to be swayed by temporary conditions. They begin to imagine a better future, but the moment they face opposition, they return to their old way of thinking. They let fear, frustration, or impatience take over, and in doing so, they undo the work they had begun. The secret is to persist, to remain unshaken, to trust that the shift is happening even when there is no visible evidence yet. God is moving you into a greater reality, but you must prepare the way. You must make room for the new by letting go of the old doubts, old fears, old assumptions. You must see yourself as already having received what you desire. Walk in confidence, think from the new state, and refuse to entertain any thought that contradicts it. Because whatever you persistently see in your mind, you will eventually hold in your hands. Faith is the unseen bridge between where you are and where you are meant to be. It is the quiet certainty that what you desire is already yours, even before there is any visible proof. Without faith, you remain bound to what your senses perceive, unable to move beyond the limitations of your current reality. But with faith, you step into the unknown with confidence, knowing that all is unfolding exactly as it should. Most people struggle with faith because they have been conditioned to believe only in what they can see. They trust the physical world more than the unseen power shaping it. They pray for change, but still allow fear and doubt to control their thoughts. They ask for guidance, but hesitate to take steps forward unless they see clear signs. This is why so many remain stuck, because they are waiting for external confirmation before they truly believe. But faith does not work that way. Faith is the knowing that precedes the evidence, not the result of it. When God is shifting you, He does not always give you the full picture. He may not reveal every step or provide immediate proof of what is happening behind the scenes. This is because faith is required for the process to unfold. If everything were visible from the beginning, there would be no need for trust. Faith is the key that unlocks the next level. It is the willingness to step forward even when the path is unclear, to believe in the unseen reality even when the physical world shows no sign of change. The moment you decide to walk by faith, you disconnect from the limitations of the old reality. You no longer let circumstances dictate your beliefs, and you refuse to let delays shake your confidence. You hold firm to the knowing that everything is already working in your favor, even when there is no visible proof. This unwavering trust is what allows the shift to fully take place. On the other hand, is what keeps you trapped. The mind will always try to pull you back into familiar patterns, whispering thoughts of fear and uncertainty. It will tell you that nothing is changing, that you are wasting your time, that you are foolish for believing in something you cannot yet see. But doubt is the enemy of transformation. It builds walls where there should be bridges. It blinds you to the opportunities that are already forming. It convinces you to settle for less than what is truly meant for you. Faith requires discipline. It is not a passive state, but an active choice, moment by moment, thought by thought. When doubts arise, you must replace them with truth. When fear creeps in, you must affirm what you know in your spirit. When circumstances seem to contradict your vision, you must remind yourself that the physical world is only a delayed reflection of the unseen. Walking by faith means living as if what you desire is already yours. It means carrying yourself with the confidence of someone who knows the outcome is certain. It means thinking, speaking, and acting in alignment with the shift even before it fully manifests. This is not pretending, it is embodying the truth of the new reality before it becomes visible to the world. Many people sabotage their own transformation because they waver between faith and doubt. One moment they believe in the shift, and the next they allow circumstances to shake their conviction. They pray for a breakthrough but continue to speak as if they are stuck. They affirm success but still worry about failure. This back and forth creates resistance, slowing down the process. The only way to fully step into the new reality is to remain unwavering in faith. God does not require perfection, but He does require trust. He is shifting you for a reason, and the path is already laid out before you, but you must walk it. You must take each step in faith, knowing that even when things seem uncertain, everything is working in divine order. Your faith is not wasted. Every moment you trust in the unseen, every time you choose to believe despite appearances, you are strengthening the bridge that connects you to your new reality. Eventually, the physical world will catch up, and what was once invisible will become undeniable. But by then, it will not be a surprise. You will have already known it was yours all along. When God shifts you, the old must crumble. The things that once seemed secure may begin to fall away. Relationships you depended on may dissolve. Opportunities you thought were essential may slip through your fingers. Routines that once felt comfortable may no longer fit. This is not a sign of failure. It is not punishment. It is preparation. Many people resist change because they fear loss. They hold on to what is familiar, even when it no longer serves them. They pray for a new season, but cling to old circumstances. They ask for transformation, but resist the necessary breaking apart of the past. Yet, for something new to be built, the old must be cleared away. A structure that is no longer stable must be torn down before something stronger can take its place. If God is shifting you, it means He is making space for something greater. But too often, people fight against this process trying to hold on to what is collapsing instead of trusting the new foundation being laid. They mistake endings for setbacks when, in reality, they are setups for something better. Imagine a tree that has outgrown its pot. If it stays confined to the small space, its roots will become tangled, its growth will be stunted, and eventually it will begin to wither. The only way for it to thrive is to be removed from its limited container and placed in a larger space. But that process is not comfortable. The roots must be disrupted, the soil must be shaken, the tree must be transplanted before it can grow freely again. This is what happens when God shifts you. He removes you from environments that can no longer sustain you. He closes doors that would limit your potential. He allows certain people to walk away because they are not meant to go where you are going. If you try to hold on to the past, you will only delay the expansion that is waiting for you. It is human nature to seek stability, but true stability is not found in external circumstances, it is found in trust. If your foundation is built on people, positions, or possessions, you will feel shaken when they are removed. But if your foundation is built on faith, you will understand that every loss is making way for something greater. Letting go is difficult when you do not yet see what is ahead. The in-between phase, the space between the old falling apart and the new taking shape, can feel uncertain. It may feel as if everything is unraveling, but in reality, things are falling into place. What looks like destruction is actually reconstruction. What seems like an ending is actually the beginning of something better. Think of a house undergoing renovation. The walls must be knocked down, the old flooring must be ripped up, dust and debris cover everything. For a time it looks like chaos, but only because the new structure is still being built. If you walked away from the process too soon, you would think the house was ruined. But if you trust the vision, you know that what is being created is far better than what was there before. When God shifts you, you may not immediately see the beauty of what is being built. You may only see the rubble of what was. But in time, the purpose will become clear, the new doors will open, the right people will appear, the path that once seemed uncertain will make perfect sense. And when you look back, you will realize that everything that fell apart was never meant to stay. Many delay their transformation because they refuse to release the past. They hold on to relationships that no longer align with their journey. They remain in situations that keep them small. They try to force doors open that were meant to be closed. But God will not allow you to shrink into something He is calling you to outgrow. If He is removing something from your life, it is because He is making room for some. The fastest way to embody change is to live as if it has already happened. When God is shifting you, He does not ask you to wait for proof before you believe. He asks you to step into the new reality with full confidence, even before it is visible. Most people make the mistake of waiting until their circumstances confirm the shift before they act differently. But that is not how transformation works. The shift happens first in your mind, in your feelings, and in your actions. Then the outer world rearranges itself to match. Everything in your life is a reflection of your inner state. If you continue to think, feel, and behave as you did in the past, your reality will remain the same. But the moment you start aligning your thoughts and actions with the new version of yourself, everything begins to change. This is not pretending. This is faith in action. Many people pray for a shift but continue to live as if nothing is different. They ask for financial abundance but still speak and think from a mindset of lack. They desire a new opportunity but continue to dwell in doubt and hesitation. They seek love but still believe they are unworthy. This is why they remain stuck, because they are waiting for external change before they allow themselves to shift internally. But the truth is, your external world cannot change until you. If you truly believe the shift is happening, then act like it. Speak as though it is already done. Walk with the confidence of someone who knows their prayers have been answered. Carry yourself as if you are already living in the reality you desire. This does not mean forcing things or trying to manipulate circumstances. It means fully embodying the mindset, emotions, and behaviors of the person you are becoming. Consider someone who is stepping into a new career. If they constantly doubt themselves, question their abilities, and fear failure, they will continue to act like someone who is uncertain. And because of that, opportunities will slip away. But if they begin to embody the confidence of someone who already belongs in that role, they will make different decisions. They will walk differently, speak differently, and attract different circumstances. Their internal shift will create an external shift. The same principle applies to every area of life. If you want to step into abundance, start making decisions from a place of abundance. If you desire love, start showing up as someone who is already loved and valued. If you want to walk in purpose, begin acting with the clarity and conviction of someone who knows they are guided. The world will respond to the energy you embody. Living as if the shift has already happened does not mean ignoring reality. It means refusing to let the current circumstances dictate your beliefs. It means holding on to the vision so firmly that nothing can shake your confidence. It means knowing that just because you do not see something yet does not mean it is not already unfolding. Imagine a seed planted in the ground. Even though you cannot see it growing, you trust that it is. You water it, nurture it, and expect it to bloom. You do not dig it up every day to check if it is working. You simply trust the process. The same is true for your shift. It is happening whether or not you see immediate evidence. Your job is to align yourself with it, mentally, emotionally, and physically. Many people delay their transformation because they continue to dwell in old patterns. They think of themselves as the same person they were before. They allow fear to control their actions. They hesitate instead of moving forward boldly. But transformation requires full commitment. You cannot step into a new reality while clinging to the mindset of the old one. There will be moments when doubt tries to creep in, moments when nothing seems to be changing, moments when the old reality still appears in front of you. Do not let that shake you. Remember, what you see now is simply a reflection of past thoughts and beliefs. The new reality is already forming. Stay firm in your knowing. Every great transformation begins with someone who dared to believe in what they could not yet see. The people who change their lives are the ones who refuse to wait for proof. They live as if the shift has already happened, and because of that, the world reshapes itself to match their conviction. So step into your new reality now. Speak from it. Think from it. Feel from it. Let your actions be guided by the certainty that it is already yours. When you do this, the shift will no longer be something you are waiting for. It will be something you are living. And soon, the world will have no choice but to reflect it back to you. The shift God is bringing into your life is already in motion. It begins in your mind, takes root in your faith, and manifests through your willingness to surrender, trust, and embody the change before it appears. The old must crumble so that the new can rise, and resisting this process only delays what is meant for you. But when you align your thoughts, emotions, and actions with the new reality God is preparing, everything begins to move in your favor. You are not waiting for the shift, it is waiting for you. The moment you step into it with unwavering faith, doors will open, paths will clear, and what once seemed impossible will become inevitable. Live as if it is already done, and watch as your world transforms before your eyes. Thank you for listening, and may you walk boldly into the shift that is calling you. Close your eyes for just 4 minutes. Step out of the illusion of lack and into the certainty of fulfillment. The mind is not bound by time. In an instant, it can transport you into a reality where your desire already exists. Right now, take a deep breath and relax. Feel yourself sinking into a state of calm knowing. Nothing outside of you needs to change for your desire to be real. It is real the moment you claim it. Now, bring to mind that which you seek. Do not look at it as something distant. See it, touch it, hear it. Engage all your senses. More importantly, feel it. How would it feel if you already had it? Let that feeling consume you. Do not wish. Do not beg. Simply assume. Let the joy, relief, and excitement settle in as though it is already yours. Because it is, in this moment, it is done. Hold that feeling. Let it take root in your being. This is not a game of repetition or struggle. It takes only a few moments of absolute conviction to rewrite the script of your life. Release it. Let go of the need to force anything. Walk in the world as though your manifestation is inevitable, because it is. Your only job now is to remain in the knowing. Manifestation is not about time, it is about certainty. The moment you assume, the moment you feel, the moment you believe, it is done. The mind is the master architect of reality, shaping the world around you with the impressions you hold within. There is no separation between what you imagine and what you experience. Your imagination is not a fleeting daydream, but the very force that molds your existence. Everything that has ever come into being first existed as an idea, a vision within the unseen before it took form in the physical. When you grasp the full power of this truth, you begin to understand that nothing is beyond your reach. For what you consistently imagine and believe to be true must find its way into your external world. Look at the world around you. Every structure, invention, and achievement was once a mere thought, nurtured in the unseen realm of imagination. The chair you sit on, the device you hold in your hands, the life you live today, all of it began as an idea in someone's mind before it materialized. If this is true for the external world, then it must also be true for the personal reality you experience. Your circumstances, relationships, and financial state are all a reflection of the assumptions you have accepted as fact, whether consciously or unconsciously. You are never at the mercy of the world. You are its creator. The process of creation is simple. What you consistently entertain in your mind will harden into fact. This is not about fleeting thoughts or passing desires, but about what you accept as true in your imagination. If you believe yourself to be prosperous, life will reorganize itself to reflect that belief. If you see yourself as unloved, that assumption will shape your relationships. The world has no choice but to mirror the contents of your inner state. The greatest error one can make is to mistake the outer world for an independent force that dictates circumstances. The truth is the opposite. The outer world is an echo of the inner. If you do not like what you see, do not fight the reflection. Change the cause. Alter your assumptions, and reality will conform. This is why struggle is unnecessary. When you truly understand that the world is only responding to your inner convictions, you stop trying to manipulate effects and instead focus on shifting your state of mind. The moment you close your eyes and imagine yourself in possession of your desire, you have already created it. It exists. The unseen is just as real as the seen. And what determines whether it moves into your physical experience is your ability to remain faithful to that vision. The mistake many make is in allowing the physical senses to dictate their beliefs. They look at their current reality, see lack, and reinforce that state by accepting it as final. But the wise understand that what is seen is merely the shadow of past thoughts. If you wish to change your life, you must stop reacting to appearances and begin living in the reality of your imagination. Do not wait for external proof before you believe. That is the way of the world, not the way of creation. The world tells you to work hard, to struggle, to hope for the best. But those who understand the power of imagination know that the only work required is the work of belief. If you can assume that what you desire is already yours, and if you can persist in that assumption, regardless of what the senses show you, reality must shift to reflect it. It is law. The key is to feel your desire as real. Imagination is not a vague or passive act. It is a living experience. When you imagine, you must engage your senses. If you desire wealth, do not simply think about it. Step into the scene in your mind where you are already wealthy. Feel the weight of abundance. Hear the sounds of a life free from financial worry. Touch the objects that signify success. Lose yourself in the experience until it feels as real as your waking life. When you do this with full conviction, you are planting the seed, and that seed must bear fruit. Doubt is the only barrier. The moment you question whether your imagination is real, you separate yourself from your creation. The mind will always seek confirmation through the senses, but you must discipline yourself to trust the unseen. If you have assumed something to be true, then it is. Walk in that knowing. Do not look for signs. Live in the end result. Your role is not to figure out the how. That is the work of the unseen forces that govern reality. Your only responsibility is to remain faithful to your vision. The great secret is that there is no delay except the one you impose through disbelief. Time is not a factor in manifestation. Belief is. The moment you fully accept your desire as real, the bridge of events will unfold to bring it into physical form. Sometimes it will appear effortlessly, and other times it will come through a series of natural events. But one thing is certain, it must come. Reality has no choice but to shape itself according to your dominant assumption. When you wake up each day, remind yourself that you are not bound by circumstances. You are the creator, the operant power. Nothing exists outside of you that was not first created within. The world is not happening to you, it is happening through you. And the moment you take full responsibility for that truth, you free yourself from limitation. Begin now. Close your eyes and see yourself as the person you wish to be, not as a distant hope, but as a present reality. Feel it, accept it, live in it. And as surely as the sun rises, the world will rearrange itself to reflect the new truth you have claimed. The moment you claim your desire as real in your imagination, it exists. The unseen is just as real as the seen, and what determines whether it moves into your physical experience is your ability to feel it as done. This is the great secret to manifestation, assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled. You are not waiting for something to happen in the future. You are stepping into the reality where it already is. This is not a mere trick of the mind, but a fundamental law of creation. Most people live in a constant state of wanting, wishing, and waiting. They look at their current circumstances, see lack, and reinforce it by continuously affirming what is missing. They beg, they hope, and they try, but they do not assume. And so their reality remains unchanged, reflecting only their inner state of longing rather than possession. The shift happens the moment you stop waiting for external proof and begin living in the assumption that your desire is already yours. Imagine for a moment that you have what you seek. Not that you will have it someday, not that it is coming, but that it is already here. How would you feel? Would there be relief, excitement, gratitude? Would you walk with a quiet confidence, knowing that it is done? This feeling is the key. If you can fully step into the emotional state of already having your desire, you collapse the illusion of separation between you and it. The moment you make this shift, reality begins to conform. Feeling it as done does not mean forcing emotions or pretending to be happy when you are not. It is not about repeating empty affirmations without belief. It is about cultivating a deep inner knowing. When you wake up in the morning, do you doubt that the sun will rise? No. You do not need to see it to believe it, because you already know it is a certainty. This is the level of conviction you must develop with your desires. When you know that something is already yours, there is no more struggle. There is no more seeking, no more questioning. You simply embody the state of being the person who has what they want. Your imagination is the bridge to this state. If you desire wealth, do not think of wealth as something outside of you. Step into the experience. In your mind's eye, feel the weight of financial freedom, the ease, the security. What does your life look like? How do you carry yourself? What do you do differently now that you are already abundant? Do not merely observe yourself as an outsider. Be fully immersed in the scene. If it were truly happening now, what emotions would rise within you? Let them take over. Let them become your new natural state. Doubt is the only thing that delays manifestation. The moment you question whether it is working, you step out of the state of fulfillment and back into the state of waiting. You must remain unwavering, even if the outer world shows no signs of change. You do not react. You do not let appearances shake your conviction, because you know that what is real in your imagination must become real in your life. Reality is always catching up to your inner world, not the other way around. Many people ask how long it takes for a desire to manifest, but time is irrelevant. The only thing that matters is your ability to feel it as done. Some things appear instantly, while others unfold through a natural bridge of events. But the moment you truly assume, the process is set in motion. There is no need to force anything. Your only job is to persist in the feeling of already having it. If you waver, return to your imagination and realign with the feeling of fulfillment. You must also free yourself from the need to control how it happens. The mind, conditioned by the world, wants to micromanage every detail, but this only creates resistance. If you had what you wanted, you would not be concerned with the process. You would simply enjoy it. The more you let go of attachment to the method, the faster your desire materializes. Trust that the unseen forces are working in perfect order to bring it into. When you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you begin to act differently. You carry yourself with confidence, you speak from a place of knowing, and you make decisions that align with your new state. This is not forced. It happens naturally because your inner world has shifted. If you believe yourself to be successful, you will think and behave as a successful person does. If you believe yourself to be loved, you will carry yourself with the security of someone who knows they are cherished. This is why change begins within, not outside. The world does not give you what you want. It gives you who you are. Think of a time when something you desired eventually became yours. Before it happened, there was likely a moment when you just knew it was inevitable. Perhaps you stopped worrying about it, or perhaps you felt at peace as if it were already yours, and soon after it came to pass. This is how manifestation works. The moment you relax into certainty, what you desire moves toward you. You do not need years of practice or special techniques. You do not need external validation. You only need to assume, feel, and persist. Right now, in this moment, claim your desire is done. Step into the feeling fully. Let it become your dominant state. And as surely as night turns to day, your world will rearrange itself to match. There is a power greater than all the noise, all the struggle, and all the external searching. It is the power of stillness. In just a few moments of deep relaxation, you can dissolve the illusions that keep you bound to the old and step fully into the reality of your choosing. The world outside is nothing but a reflection of what you accept within. Most people spend their days reacting to circumstances, to other people, to their own fears and doubts. They believe that if they work harder, think more, or do more, they will somehow force change. But creation does not happen through effort, it happens through alignment. And alignment is only found in stillness. When you relax completely, when you silence the chatter of the mind, you enter the state where true transformation occurs. Stillness is not simply the absence of noise, it is the presence of clarity. It is the moment when you no longer allow the outside world to dictate your inner state. In stillness, you become the master of your reality. You are no longer a victim of circumstances, no longer a prisoner to what is. Instead, you step into the awareness that you are the creator. Everything you seek is already within you. But you cannot hear this truth if your mind is filled with doubt, fear, or distraction. There is no struggle in stillness. There is no need to convince yourself of anything or force change. The moment you quiet your mind and sink deeply into relaxation, you open the doorway to infinite possibility. It is here, in this silence, that you can reprogram your reality. The subconscious mind is most impressionable when the body is at ease, when the mind is no longer racing with thoughts of past and future. This is why deep relaxation is so powerful. It allows you to bypass the limitations of the conscious mind and plant new seeds directly into the soil of creation. If you desire change, do not chase it. Instead, sit in stillness and allow it to be. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, and let every muscle in your body relax. Feel yourself letting go of effort, letting go of resistance. In this moment, nothing else exists but your awareness. The past is gone, the future does not yet exist. There is only now, and in this now you are free. As you relax deeper, begin to see yourself already living the life you desire. Do not think of it as something far away or something you must strive for. See it as already done. Feel it as your present reality. If you desire success, step into the feeling of already being successful. If you desire love, immerse yourself in the feeling of already being deeply loved. Do not wait for the world to give it to you. Give it to yourself now. Your mind may try to resist at first. It may tell you that this is not real, that nothing is changing. Ignore it. The conscious mind is conditioned to believe only what it can see, but the truth is that reality begins in the unseen. What you accept in stillness must eventually be reflected in the world around you. This is law. The reason most people struggle to manifest their desires is that they are too focused on the outer world. They react to what is rather than creating what will be. But the secret is this: the world does not change first, you do. And the fastest way to change is through stillness, through deep, unwavering awareness of your own creative power. The more you practice this, the more natural it becomes. Soon you will find that you no longer react to circumstances the way you once did. You will not feel the need to chase, to struggle, to fight against what is. Instead, you will remain centered in the knowing that everything you desire is already yours. When you master stillness, you master creation. There is nothing you must do, no steps you must take. Simply be, simply know, sit in silence and feel the truth of your being. Feel the reality of your desire already fulfilled. Do not look for proof, be the proof. Carry this stillness with you throughout your day. When the world tries to pull you back into doubt, return to your center. Remember who you are. It is not time or effort that changes reality. It is alignment. And alignment is found in stillness. Let the world be loud, let circumstances come and go, but remain unmoved. Remain at peace, knowing that your vision is more real than anything outside of you, and soon the world will have no choice but to reflect back the truth you have claimed in silence. There is no such thing as waiting when it comes to creation. The moment you accept something as real in your mind, it is done. Time is not what you have been taught. It is not a rigid path you must walk step by step. It is an illusion, a construct of the mind that makes things appear as though they unfold in sequence. But in truth, everything that ever was and ever will be already exists. There is only now. The delay you experience between thought and reality is not because time must pass. It is because you have not yet fully accepted the new reality as true. Most people believe they are separate from their desires, that what they want is somewhere out there in the future waiting to be attained. But the moment you define something as in the future, you push it away. You create a gap between yourself and that which you seek. True manifestation is not about bringing something into being. It is about shifting your awareness to the version of you that already has it. It is not a process of waiting, but of aligning. If you desire wealth, do not think of it as something you will achieve one day. Step into the awareness of wealth now. If you desire love, do not imagine it as something that will come to you eventually. Feel it as yours now. The only thing keeping you from experiencing it is the illusion that it is distant. In reality, all states exist simultaneously. There are infinite versions of you. One who has already received what you desire and one who still longs for it. The question is, which one are you identifying with? When you look at your current circumstances and believe they define you, you stay locked in the present version of yourself. You think, I am not there yet. and so reality reflects that belief. But the moment you accept a new state of being, the moment you say, "It is already mine," you shift. And when you shift internally, the outer world must follow. It is law. It may seem as though time is required for things to change, but time is merely a tool of perception. If you look for proof in the outer world before you believe, you will always be waiting. But if you accept something as real before you see it, reality will bend to match your conviction. You are not bound by time unless you believe you are. The strongest proof of this is in your own experience. Think back to moments in your life when something seemed to come out of nowhere, when what you wanted suddenly appeared without explanation. This was not coincidence, it was a shift. There is no force outside of you deciding when you receive what you desire. You are not at the mercy of divine timing, fate, or luck. You are the operant power. And the moment you claim something as yours, without hesitation, the wheels begin to turn. But here is where most falter. They claim something in one breath and doubt it in the next. They say, "I know it's mine," but then look at their circumstances and question. They check the clock, wondering when it will arrive. This back and forth delays the manifestation, not because time is needed, but because certainty is. The moment you truly accept something as yours, without needing to see proof, it exists for you. Let go of the idea that things take time. Instead of thinking in terms of waiting, think in terms of shifting. If you were already the person who has what you want, how would you think? How would you feel? How would you move through the world? Assume that version of yourself now. Do not play small. Do not entertain doubts. If you say, "I am abundant," do not contradict yourself by worrying about lack. If you say, "I am loved," do not let loneliness convince you otherwise. The moment you waver, you reinforce the old reality. Time is not required. Change happens the moment you accept it internally. And the faster you embody the feeling of already having it, the faster it appears in your experience. But it is not about speed. It is about certainty. The world reflects back to you what you know to be true, not what you hope for, not what you wish for, but what you claim. Understand this deeply. You are not moving toward your desires. Your desires already exist. The only thing you are moving is your awareness. And the moment you shift, the world will shift to meet you. Do not wait. Do not look to the outside for confirmation. Close your eyes. Accept it as done. And live from that knowing. Time will no longer be a barrier because you will understand it was never real to begin with. Doubt is the only thing standing between you and your manifestation. It is not circumstance, it is not lack, it is not effort. It is the resistance of your own mind. You do not need to fight for what is already yours. You do not need to struggle to bring it into being. The moment you release doubt, the moment you let go of the questions of how and when, it is done. The mind is conditioned to seek explanations. It wants to know the exact process, the exact steps, the exact timeline. It clings to logic and reason, believing that if something is not seen, it does not exist. But manifestation is not a process of logic. It is a process of knowing. The moment you ask, "How will this happen?" or "When will it come?" you introduce resistance. You step out of faith and into uncertainty. And in that moment, you delay what is already yours. There is nothing to question. There is nothing to figure out. The moment you have accepted something in your imagination, it exists. And if it exists, there is no need to wonder if it will come. If you plant a seed in the soil, do you dig it up every day to check if it is growing? No. You know that the moment you placed it in the earth, nature took over. You trust that the process is unfolding, even if you cannot see it. The same is true for your desires. The moment you claim something as yours, the unseen forces begin moving in ways beyond your comprehension. But if you doubt, if you question, if you try to force it, you interfere with the natural flow. Letting go of doubt does not mean suppressing it or pretending it is not there. It means recognizing it for what it is, a product of past conditioning, and choosing not to engage with it. It means standing firm in your conviction even when your senses show you something different. This is where most falter. They affirm something as true, but then look to the outer world for proof. And when they do not see it immediately, they question. But manifestation is not about seeing first. It is about believing first. You cannot be both the creator and the skeptic. You must choose. Either you believe in the power of your assumption or you remain bound by doubt. The ones who manifest quickly are not the ones who work harder or analyze more. They are the ones who trust. They know that the moment they have seen it in their mind, it is done. They do not ask how the bridge of events will unfold. They do not question the means by which it will come. They rest in the certainty that it is already theirs, and they move forward with that knowing. The universe does not operate on hesitation. It responds to clarity, to certainty, to unwavering belief. If you stand at the edge of a river and say, I want to cross, but then hesitate, debating whether the water is too deep or the current too strong, you will never move. But if you step forward in confidence, the path will appear. The same is true for your desires. If you want something but constantly question its arrival, you are standing still. You are delaying what has already been set in motion. The only way to receive is to trust, to surrender the need for control, to understand that your desires are not random. They were placed within you for a reason. And if they were placed within you, it means the fulfillment of them is already possible. But you must align with that reality, not resist it. Every time you doubt, you push it away. Every time you question, you introduce delay. But the moment you let go, the moment you say it is done and truly believe it, the path clears. Do not ask, when will it come? That is the question of someone who does not yet believe. Do not ask, how will it happen? That is the question of someone who does not trust the unseen. Instead, live from the end. Walk as if it is already yours. Think as if it is already done. Let go of every need to question or prove, because the moment you no longer need proof, you will have it. Understand this deeply. Doubt is not keeping you safe. It is keeping you stuck. You do not need to analyze or figure things out. You do not need to force or beg or struggle. You simply need to assume, accept, and trust. If you can do that, if you can release every ounce of resistance and stand firm in the knowing that your desire is already yours, there will be no delay. The outer world must conform. It is law. Let go. Let go of the timeline. Let go of the need for signs. Let go of the urge to check if it is working. It is working. It has already worked. You simply need to stop interfering. Be still, be certain, and watch as everything unfolds exactly as it was meant to, in perfect, effortless alignment. Do not seek, do not wish. Become. This is the essence of manifestation. The moment you place your desire outside of yourself, as something to be attained in the future, you create separation. You confirm to yourself that it is not yet yours, and in doing so, you push it further away. But when you embody the state of already having, when you assume the role of the person who possesses the thing you seek, the outer world has no choice but to reflect it. Reality is not fixed. It is not something you must chase or struggle to mold into shape. It is fluid, responding to the assumptions you hold within. And when you hold the assumption that your desire is already a fact, reality conforms. But this requires a shift, not in the world outside, but in your own mind. You must stop looking for evidence, stop checking for progress, stop wondering when it will appear. Instead, you must walk as though it is already done. You must think, feel, and act as though you are already living in the fulfillment of your desire. Most people approach manifestation with a sense of longing. They wish for what they want. They hope. They are firm, but in the back of their minds there is still a question. Will it happen? When will it come? But the one who truly understands does not hope. They do not wish. They simply know. They do not place their desire outside of themselves. They do not say, I want this. Instead, they say, "It is mine." And because they claim it as theirs, it must be so. If you wish to be wealthy, do not seek wealth. Instead, become the person who already is. How does this person think? How do they move through the world? What decisions do they make? If you wish to be loved, do not look for love outside of yourself. Instead, embody the state of already being deeply loved. Feel the certainty of it within you. If you wish for success, do not wait for proof that you are successful. Instead, carry yourself as someone who already is. Your assumption is the only thing that matters, because the world must reflect what you assume to be true. This is not about pretending or forcing yourself into delusion. It is about knowing. The same way you do not need to convince yourself of your own name, you do not need to convince yourself of your manifestation. It is simply a fact. And once something is a fact in your inner world, it must become a fact in the outer. Most people struggle with this because they are ruled by their senses. They look at what is and allow it to dictate what they believe. But reality does not work that way. What you see now is simply the result of past assumptions. If you want to change what appears before you, you must first change what you assume to be true. This requires discipline. It requires the ability to ignore appearances and hold firm in your knowing, even when the outer world tells you otherwise. If you live from the end, there is no room for doubt. There is no need to question. There is no waiting. Because the moment you have assumed something as real within, it already exists. You are not manifesting something into being. You are aligning with what is already yours. The person who succeeds in manifestation does not spend their time asking for their desire to appear. They do not wait for signs or reassurance. They move as if it is done. They do not beg for love. They know they are already loved. They do not search for wealth. They operate as though wealth is already their reality. This does not mean reckless spending or forced actions. It means embodying the mindset, the confidence, and the certainty of already having. The moment you fully step into this state, the world shifts to match it. People, events, and circumstances rearrange themselves in ways beyond your understanding. Opportunities appear, doors open, and what once seemed impossible unfolds effortlessly. But none of this can happen if you continue to hold on to the mindset of wanting. Wanting only creates more wanting. Seeking only creates more seeking. But being fully and completely creates reality. If you could step into a future version of yourself, the one who already has everything you desire, how would you feel? How would you carry yourself? How would you speak? If you can answer this, you already know how to manifest, because that version of you is not in the future, it exists now, and the moment you claim it, the moment you become it in thought and feeling, the world will shift to match. Do not wait. Do not look outside yourself for proof. Do not question, simply assume. Assume it is already done. Assume you are already the person you wish to be, and from that state, let the world rearrange itself to reflect your knowing. It cannot do otherwise. It is law. Manifestation is not about waiting, wishing, or hoping. It is about becoming. The moment you assume your desire is already fulfilled, the world must reflect it. Your imagination creates reality. And when you feel it as done, when you release doubt, when you exist in stillness and recognize that time is an illusion, you step into the version of yourself who already has what you seek. You are not here to chase or struggle. You are here to be. And the moment you embody the end result, the world has no choice but to conform. So stop seeking, stop questioning, simply know. Live from the end. Move with certainty and allow the unseen to become seen. What you desire is already yours the moment you claim it. Thank you. You have been told all your life to go out and look for work, to struggle, to prove yourself, to compete. But what if I told you that this is not your role? What if I told you that from this moment forward, it is no longer your job to seek, but to receive? God has spoken, and His word is clear. Do not look for work. It is now God's duty to provide. Does this mean you sit idly and wait? No. It means you shift your awareness to a higher understanding. The world outside is merely a reflection of the world within. Your task is not to run after opportunity. It is to embody the one who already has it. See yourself as already employed, already successful, already in the place you desire. Feel the security, the ease, the abundance. This feeling is your true work. This is the seed. The old way tells you that effort alone brings success, but effort without alignment is labor in vain. When you align yourself with the truth that God has already finished the work, you no longer beg for opportunities. They are drawn to you effortlessly. Do not say, I hope I find work. Say it is already done. Do not wake up worrying about your future. Wake up in gratitude that it is unfolding perfectly. The world will ask, how can you not worry? How can you not chase? But you will know the secret. God moves through your state of being, not your struggle. The moment you become the person who already has everything must come to you. So from this day forward, stop searching, stop striving, stop doubting. Walk in faith, knowing that God has already made the way, the work, the opportunity, the provision. It is no longer your duty to seek. It is God's duty to deliver. The world has conditioned you to believe that success comes through effort, that you must chase after opportunities, prove yourself, and tirelessly work to earn your place. From childhood, you were taught that if you want something, you must struggle for it, that nothing in life comes easily. But what if I told you that this is a false teaching? What if I told you that the things you seek are already seeking you, that the work you believe you must hunt down is in truth drawn to you by your very state of being? There is a great misunderstanding in the world. The belief that you are the doer, that through sheer force of will, through endless action, you create your success. But the truth is far deeper than that. You do not make things happen through you. Every event, every opportunity, every door that opens in your life is not a result of your external struggle, but a reflection of your internal state. When you realize this, you will cease the exhausting search for work, for success, for provision, and you will step into the knowing that all things are already aligned for you. Consider the air you breathe. Do you struggle to inhale? Do you chase after oxygen, running from place to place to ensure you get enough? No. The air is already present. It moves through you naturally, effortlessly. So too does every opportunity in your life. Work is not something you must pursue. It is something that aligns with you when you become the person who already has it. When you believe you must fight for what is yours, you create resistance. You send out the message that what you desire is separate from you, that it is out there somewhere just beyond your reach. This belief keeps it away from you. But when you shift your awareness, when you accept that all things are already provided, you will see that opportunities, work, money, and success naturally gravitate toward you. You are not meant to beg the world for what is already yours. You are meant to receive. Think about the people who seem to have everything effortlessly. Have you ever wondered why some individuals never struggle to find work, why they always seem to be in the right place at the right time? It is not luck. It is not chance. It is alignment. They have assumed the state of already having, and because of that, the world must conform to that assumption. You see, the world does not bring you what you want, it brings you what you are. If you see yourself as someone who struggles, if you identify as someone who must fight for everything, then struggle is what will define your life. But the moment you step into the awareness that everything flows to you, that you are a magnet for all that is good, your reality shifts. Many people misunderstand this truth. They think they must simply sit and do nothing, waiting for things to appear. But this is not about inaction. It is about inspired action. When you align yourself with the state of already having, the right actions will flow through you naturally. You will not act out of fear, desperation, or lack. You will act with confidence, certainty, and peace. And in doing so, you will move effortlessly into the reality that is already yours. If you chase something, you are declaring that it is not yet yours. But when you embody the state of already having, it cannot help but come to you. Imagine two people looking for work. One wakes up anxious, feeling the weight of uncertainty, doubting whether they will ever find the right job. They search frantically, sending applications with fear in their heart, checking their phone every minute, worried that no one will respond. The other person, however, wakes up in a state of knowing. They do not search in desperation. They move through the day with calm assurance, already feeling the security of having what they desire. Their actions are not forced. They are inspired, and because of this, the right opportunity is drawn to them with ease. You must understand that work is not something you find, it is something that finds you when you become the person who already has it. This is the great secret. The outer world is merely a reflection of your inner world. If you believe you must strive, you will always be striving. If you believe you must chase, you will always be chasing. But the moment you believe that all things are already aligned for you, that God has already provided, that you do not need to search but only to receive, that is the moment everything changes. You were not placed on this earth to labor in fear, to struggle endlessly, to exhaust yourself chasing things that were already meant for you. You were placed here to embody abundance, to move through life with confidence, knowing that what is yours can never be lost. What must you do now? You must stop. Stop searching in desperation, stop worrying, stop doubting. Instead, close your eyes and feel the reality of already having. Walk through your day as the person who is already provided for. Move with assurance, speak with confidence, and trust that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. This is not mere belief, it is law. The moment you shift your state, the world must shift to match it. So do not look for work. Do not chase opportunities. Simply align yourself with the knowing that it is already done, and watch as everything you once thought you had to fight for flows effortlessly into your life. The desires that arise within you are not mere fantasies, nor are they random thoughts that come and go without meaning. They are divine whispers, signals from the unseen realm, guiding you toward the life that has already been prepared for you. Yet so many misunderstand their desires, seeing them as something distant, something they must chase, something they must earn. This is the great illusion, the belief that what you long for is separate from you, when in truth, it has always been yours. You do not create your desires. They are planted within you by something far greater. They are not accidental. They are intentional. Every longing that stirs within you, every dream that calls to you, is a reflection of what is already done in the unseen world. It is not your job to fight for it, to struggle to make it happen. Your only task is to accept it as already yours. But what does this mean? How can something be yours if you do not yet see it? This is where most people falter. They believe only in what they can touch, in what they can verify with their senses. They look at their current reality and decide that it is the only truth. But reality is not fixed, it is fluid. It is shaped by your consciousness, molded by your inner state. The moment you understand this, you will stop doubting your desires and start embracing them as divine truth. Consider this. When you plant a seed in the ground, do you dig it up every day to check if it is growing? No. You trust that beneath the soil, unseen to the eye, the process has already begun. You water it, you nurture it, and you wait in faith, knowing that soon it will break through the surface. This is exactly how desire works. The moment it is conceived in your heart, it is already growing in the unseen realm. You do not need to force it into existence. You only need to trust that it is unfolding perfectly. So many live in a constant state of doubt. They question whether their desires are even possible, whether they are worthy of them, whether they should pursue something more realistic. But who placed that desire within you? Why do you think it will not come to pass? The very fact that you can long for something means that it is already prepared for you. The problem is not with the desire, it is with your resistance to believing it is done. Think of the things you have already manifested in your life. The job you once dreamed of, the home you once imagined, the relationships that seemed impossible. At one point, these were mere thoughts in your mind, but they became real, not through struggle, but through the alignment of your inner world with the outer world. You did not chase them into existence. You accepted them as yours before they appeared. This is how creation works. You do not need to beg for what is already yours. You do not need to force what is already set in motion. You only need to align yourself with the truth that your desires are divine, that they are already fulfilled, and that your only task is to step into the reality where they exist. Most people delay their own manifestations because they continue to dwell in the state of wanting. To want something is to acknowledge that you do not yet have it. And as long as you remain in the state of lack, your reality will continue to reflect that lack. But the moment you shift into the state of already having, everything must rearrange itself to match that assumption. You have been taught that life is about effort, about struggle, about proving yourself worthy. But who told you this? Who made you believe that your desires are something to be earned? They are not rewards for hard work. They are divine instructions, already fulfilled. Your belief in their reality is what brings them into form. So stop seeking, stop chasing, stop doubting. Look at your desires with new eyes. See them not as something you must strive for, but as something that is calling you forward, something that is already waiting for you in the unseen. Instead of asking, "How do I get there?" ask yourself, what would it feel like to already be there? This shift in perspective changes everything. The world around you is not as rigid as you think. It is fluid, responding to your inner state, shaping itself according to your beliefs. If you believe your desires are distant, they will remain distant. If you believe they are already yours, they will unfold naturally, effortlessly. This is not a philosophy, it is law. The law that governs creation, the law that determines what manifests in your life. When you desire something, you are not making a request. You are receiving a preview of what is already yours. The only question is whether you will accept it or continue to resist it with doubt and fear. From this moment on, begin to treat your desires differently. Stop questioning whether they are possible. Stop worrying about when they will arrive. Instead, step into the state of already having. Live in the feeling of fulfillment. Walk through your day with the confidence that what you seek is already seeking you. Your desires are not separate from you. They are the voice of God, calling you to remember what is already done. Listen, trust, receive, and watch as everything falls perfectly into place. The world teaches you to strive, to labor, and to seek tirelessly for what you desire. You have been told that in order to succeed, you must search for opportunities, prove your worth, and work endlessly to secure what is already yours in the unseen. But the truth is quite the opposite. What if you stopped searching and instead stepped into the reality of already having? What if, instead of looking for work, you assumed the feeling of already being in the position you desire? Most people believe they must act first in order to receive. They think they must go out and make things happen through effort and force. But the great secret is that reality does not respond to effort alone. It responds to state of being. You do not attract what you want, you attract what you are, and what you are is determined by the state you assume to be true. If you believe yourself to be someone searching for work, needing opportunities, and lacking what you desire, then the world will reflect this back to you. But the moment you step into the consciousness of already being exactly where you wish to be, everything shifts. To live in the end means to embody the feeling of the wish fulfilled, to move as though it is already done. It is not about daydreaming or wishing, it is about knowing. It is about carrying yourself as the person who already possesses the thing you seek. When you do this, the world has no choice but to conform to your assumption. Imagine for a moment that you have already received what you desire. How would you feel? How would you carry yourself? What would your daily routine look like? What thoughts would fill your mind? You must begin to live from this place now. If you are looking for work, do not place yourself in the state of looking. Instead, place yourself in the state of already having the ideal job, already being sought after, already being in demand. Move through your day as if you are already established, as if the world is responding to you in the way you desire. This is not pretending, it is creating, it is shaping reality from the inside out. The moment you truly accept this as your state of being, the world begins to shift. People will be drawn to you in ways you could never predict. Opportunities will arise effortlessly. The phone will ring, the offer will come, not because you were out searching, but because you aligned yourself with the outcome and let it come to you. This is where many falter. They assume for a moment, but then they let doubt creep in. They look at their current reality and begin to question. They wonder if they are doing enough, if they should be working harder, if they are being realistic. But faith does not waver. Faith does not check for evidence. Faith knows. And when you know that something is already yours, you do not worry about how it will come. You simply allow it to unfold. Think of a time in your life when something you desired came to you effortlessly. Perhaps it was a job, a relationship, an opportunity. It seemed to happen in a way you could not have planned, as if the pieces fell into place without effort. This is the power of assumption. When you live in the end, you bypass struggle. You step into a flow where things happen naturally, not through force, but through alignment. But alignment requires discipline. You must train yourself to dwell in the state of already having. If you allow yourself to fall back into doubt, to return to the state of lack, then you will continue to manifest more of the same. The world cannot give you what you do not believe yourself to already possess. So begin now. Close your eyes and feel the reality of your wish fulfilled. Walk through your day as if everything is already set in motion. Carry yourself with the confidence of one who is already chosen, already valued, already in the perfect position. Speak from this place. Act from this place. Think from this place. When your mind tries to pull you back into old patterns of worry, remind yourself, it is already done. And then, watch as the world rearranges itself. The opportunities you once searched for will begin to search for you. The job you thought you had to fight for will be drawn to you effortlessly. The people who once overlooked you will suddenly recognize your worth, not because you struggled, but because you finally accepted what was already yours. This is the power of assumption. This is the law at work. Live in the end, and the end will come to you. Anxiety is the greatest obstacle between you and the life you desire. It is the mind's way of trying to control what is already taken care of. You have been taught that worrying is a natural response to uncertainty, that it is a sign of responsibility, but in truth, worry is a denial of divine provision. It is a rejection of the truth that what you seek is already yours. The moment you let go of anxiety, you make space for what has always been waiting to reach you. Understand this. Creation is finished. Everything you could ever desire already exists in the unseen realm. The only thing standing in the way of its appearance in your life is your attachment to fear, doubt, and control. You believe you must make things happen, that you must struggle to achieve, but this is an illusion. You do not manifest through effort, you manifest through alignment. And alignment cannot exist where anxiety rules. Anxiety is born from the belief that things could go wrong, that you might fail, that what you desire might not come to pass. But where does this belief come from? It comes from looking at appearances, from trusting the physical world over the unseen. It comes from forgetting that the external is nothing more than a reflection of the internal. When you worry, You place more faith in obstacles than in divine order. You believe in lack more than abundance, in struggle more than ease. And what you believe is what you experience. But the moment you release anxiety, you shift. You step into trust. You open the way for what is already yours to flow into your life effortlessly. You are not meant to force outcomes. You are not meant to struggle and strive. Your role is to assume, to believe, to know, and then to let go. When you hold on too tightly, when you obsess over how and when something will happen, you block it. Your very effort to control delays its arrival. Think of a river. Water flows naturally, effortlessly, always finding its way. But if you were to place a dam in its path, the flow would be blocked. The water would build up, creating pressure, unable to move freely. This is what happens when you allow anxiety to rule. Your doubt, your fear, your need for control become the dam that stops the natural flow of your blessings. But the moment you remove the blockage, when you release fear, let go of worry, and surrender to trust, the current resumes. Everything moves as it was meant to, with ease, without force. This is why you must train yourself to surrender. To know that what is yours will come in perfect time, in perfect order, without struggle. Let go of the need to question, to analyze, to plan every detail. The unseen hand of God is already at work, orchestrating events in ways beyond your comprehension. Your only job is to trust. But trust does not mean passivity. It does not mean sitting idly, waiting for things to happen. Trust means knowing so completely that something is yours that you no longer feel the need to worry about it. It means walking through life with the quiet confidence of one who already possesses the thing they once desired. It means shifting from fear to faith, from anxiety to peace. If you find yourself consumed with worry, stop and ask yourself, what am I believing in this moment? Am I believing in lack, in failure, in uncertainty? Or am I believing in divine provision, in the certainty that all is unfolding in my favor? You cannot hold two opposing beliefs at once. You must choose. Choose to believe in the unseen rather than in appearances. Choose to trust in the fulfillment of your desires rather than in the illusion of delay. And once you choose, act as though it is already done. Let your mind rest. Let your heart be still. Move through your day with the assurance that everything is working for you, even when you cannot yet see it. Because the truth is, the moment you let go of anxiety, you allow what is already yours to come forth. It has been waiting for you all along. You do not attract what you want. You attract what you are. This is the great truth that governs your reality. Desire alone does not bring about change. Wanting, hoping, or wishing for something does not make it appear. It is only when you become the thing you seek that it flows to you effortlessly. This is the law of being, the unshakable truth that your external world is merely a reflection of your internal state. If you believe yourself to be lacking, if you see yourself as someone struggling to receive, the world will mirror that back to you. You will find yourself in situations where things seem just out of reach. You will experience delays, obstacles, and disappointments, not because the universe is withholding from you, but because you have not yet shifted your state of being. But the moment you step into the state of already having, of already being, everything changes. Think of the wealthy person. They do not chase money. Money flows to them. Not because they are lucky, not because they are special, but because they have embodied the state of wealth. They see themselves as abundant, and so the world reflects that assumption. Likewise, the confident person does not beg for approval. They do not seek validation. Instead, they move through the world as someone already worthy, and as a result, they are treated accordingly. The same is true for you. If you desire abundance, do not seek it, become it. If you desire love, do not chase it, embody it. The outer world is secondary. It is the shadow cast by your inner reality. You must shift within first, and then, effortlessly, the world will rearrange itself to match your new state. Many people make the mistake of believing that action alone will bring them what they want. They think that if they work harder, push more, or force things to happen, they will receive their desires. But this approach is rooted in lack. It is based on the assumption that what they seek is separate from them, that it is something they must earn or struggle for. And so, despite their efforts, they continue to chase but never truly attain. But when you understand the law of being, you no longer chase, you attract. You do not beg, you allow. You step into the version of yourself who already has what you seek, and by doing so it must come to you. Not by force, not by struggle, but by natural alignment. Imagine for a moment that you are already the person you wish to be. If you seek financial abundance, how would you think, speak, and act if you were already wealthy? Would you worry about bills? Would you stress over opportunities? Or would you move through life with a quiet confidence, knowing that money flows to you with ease? If you desire success, embody it now. Do not wait for recognition or external validation. Move through your day as someone who is already accomplished. Speak with certainty. Carry yourself with the knowing that you are already where you wish to be. The world will adjust to meet your expectation. This is not pretending, it is creation. It is shifting into a new version of yourself, a version that naturally attracts the things you once sought. When you truly assume a state of being, everything changes. You no longer feel the need to search, to struggle, to ask when or how. You simply know. And in that knowing, you allow what is yours to flow effortlessly into your life. But embodiment requires discipline. It is not enough to think positively for a few moments and then return to old patterns of doubt and fear. You must persist. You must refuse to be swayed by appearances. Even if your current reality shows no sign of change, remain firm in your assumption. Know that the unseen is always working, that what you have accepted internally must externalize in time. This is the true secret of effortless manifestation. It is not about forcing change, it is about becoming change. When you align with the state of already having, you shift into a new frequency. And on this frequency, everything you desire is drawn to you effortlessly. Opportunities appear without struggle, doors open without force. People, resources, and events move into place in ways you could never have planned. Ask yourself, who am I being right now? Am I being the person who lacks, who doubts, who struggles? Or am I being the person who already has, who already is? The choice is always yours. And the moment you decide to step into the version of yourself who already possesses what you seek, the world has no choice but to reflect it back to you. This is the law of being. It is not a secret, it is the fundamental nature of reality. Embody what you desire and it will seek you out. You have been taught to believe that in order to have what you desire, you must first seek it, chase it, and work tirelessly for it. But this is not how reality works. The world does not respond to effort alone. It responds to who you are being. You do not attract what you want, you attract what you are. This is the great secret that so few understand. The moment you embody the state of abundance, opportunities, wealth, and success begin to seek you out effortlessly. Look at the people around you. Some struggle for years, working harder than anyone else, yet they remain stuck in the same cycle of lack. Others seem to glide through life, attracting wealth, love, and success with little effort. Why? It is not because they are lucky, nor because they work harder. It is because they are being the person who already possesses what they seek. Your external world is nothing more than a reflection of your internal state. If you see yourself as someone who lacks, who is struggling, who is waiting for things to change, then the world will mirror that reality back to you. But the moment you assume the identity of one who already has, everything shifts. It is not enough to wish for abundance, you must step into it. You must carry yourself as though your desires are already fulfilled. This is not pretending, it is being. It is embodying the energy of already having what you seek. If you desire wealth, but in your heart you still feel poor, wealth will continue to evade you. If you desire love, but in your mind you believe yourself to be unworthy, love will remain distant. The law is absolute. You do not receive what you ask for, you receive what you are. Then do you become what you seek? You begin by shifting your state of being. Stop asking when will it come and instead declare it is already mine. Stop searching outside yourself for signs of change and start cultivating the feeling of already being there. Ask yourself, if I already had the job, the money, the success, how would I feel? How would I walk? How would I speak? What thoughts would fill my mind? Then begin to embody that now. The world will try to convince you that this is foolish, that you must first see evidence before you believe. But this is not how creation works. It is belief that brings things into form, not the other way around. You must first be before you can have. Consider the example of a person who is always in demand. They do not chase opportunities. Opportunities find them. Why? Because they carry the energy of someone who is already successful, already valuable, already chosen. They are not desperately seeking, they are simply being. And because they are being, the world reflects their inner state back to them. Most people live in a state of lack, constantly affirming their need, their waiting, their hoping. And so the world gives them more of the same, more need, more waiting, more hoping. But those who shift their being into the state of already having will see their outer world transform to match. This is the law of being, and it is always in effect. It is not a matter of luck, nor chance, nor fate. It is a law as certain as gravity. Change your state of being, and your world must change in response. So do not seek, be, do not chase. Embody, assume the feeling of already being the person you desire to be, and watch as life bends to meet you. There is a divine promise that has already been spoken over your life. Everything you desire, everything you need has already been prepared. There is no struggle, no striving, no need to chase after what is already yours. The world may tell you to work harder, to push more, to search endlessly for opportunities, but God's truth is different. The work is done. Your only duty now is to believe, to rest, and to allow. Most people live their lives in a constant state of seeking. They believe that if they just do a little more, if they put in more effort, if they search harder, then maybe, just maybe, they will find what they are looking for. But the moment you believe that you must go out and get something, you are admitting that you do not yet have it. And as long as you believe that it is not yours, it will remain out of reach. But what if you stopped searching? What if you knew, beyond any doubt, that all has already been arranged for you? What if, instead of anxiously trying to figure out how everything will come together, you chose to rest in the promise that it is already done? This is where true power lies, not in effort, but in knowing. Resting in the promise is not laziness, nor is it inaction. It is the highest form of faith. It is the deep and unshakable awareness that the unseen hand of God is already moving, aligning every event, every opportunity, every person in perfect order. You do not have to manipulate, force, or beg. You only need to trust. Consider the way nature operates. A tree does not strain to grow. It simply reaches toward the sun and the process unfolds naturally. The seasons do not fight against time. They shift effortlessly from one to the next. Birds do not worry about their next meal. They move through life with complete trust in provision. Why then do you believe that you must do more, search more, try harder? Have you not been promised that all things are already prepared? Your desires were not placed in you randomly. They were planted as seeds of a reality that already exists. The moment a desire is born within you, it means that in the unseen it is already done. Your only task is to align yourself with this truth. to see it as already complete, to feel it as already real, to rest in the knowing that what is meant for you cannot pass you by. But most people do not rest. They worry, they fear, they doubt, and in doing so, they block the very thing that is trying to reach them. Worry is the opposite of faith. It is the declaration that you do not believe in the promise, that you do not trust the divine order of things. The moment you let go of this worry, the moment you release the need to control every detail, you create the space for what is yours to flow effortlessly into your life. Be still and allow. Stop asking when, how, or if. Instead, shift into a state of quiet confidence, of peaceful knowing. Speak as if it is already done. Walk as if you already have it. Move through life with the ease of someone who knows that everything is unfolding perfectly. The world may not understand this. It may call you foolish for not worrying, for not chasing, for not struggling. But those who truly understand the power of faith know that the greatest action is often stillness. It is the willingness to trust so deeply that you no longer feel the need to search. Do you trust the promise? Do you truly believe that what you seek is already seeking you? If so, then let go, rest, be still. Let the divine take care of the details. Your only duty is to believe, to hold firm in the assumption that it is already done, and to allow it to come to you. When you finally understand that you are not the doer, that your desires are divine instructions already fulfilled, that living in the end is the key, that letting go of anxiety allows divine provision, that you attract what you are, and that resting in the promise is the ultimate act of faith, then life begins to unfold in ways you never imagined. You no longer struggle, chase, or beg, because you know that everything is already arranged. The moment you shift your state of being, the world bends to reflect your inner reality. So, stop searching, stop striving, step into the knowing that all is done. Walk with confidence, speak with certainty, and rest in the truth that God has already made the way. You are not waiting on life. Life is waiting on you to realize who you truly are. Thank you for listening. May you step forward in faith, rest in the promise, and allow the abundance that is already yours to flow effortlessly into your life. Close your eyes for a moment and listen. Not with your ears, but with your soul. The universe has always been speaking to you, but have you been listening? More importantly, do you know how to speak back? You do not talk to the universe with desperation, with doubt, or with fear. It does not respond to complaints, nor does it hear the words of a mind scattered in uncertainty. The universe hears assumption, it hears certainty, it hears belief. When you whisper to yourself, "I am wealthy," but deep within you feel the lack, what do you think the universe hears? It does not hear your words. It hears your feeling, and it faithfully reflects it back to you. Every time you declare, "I will have it someday," you are telling the universe, "Not now," and so it obeys, keeping your desire just out of reach. But what if instead you declared, "It is done"? What if instead you moved as though what you seek is already yours? This is how you talk to the universe. You see, the universe is a mirror. It does not give you what you want. It gives you what you are. If you are waiting, it will make you wait. If you are lacking, it will show you more lack. But if you embody abundance, love, power, it has no choice but to give you the reflection of that state. There is no separation between you and your desire. Right now, at this moment, the version of you who already has what you want exists. But you must step into that reality. You must assume it, live it, breathe it. Do not say, "I hope the universe will bring it." Instead, say, "Thank you. It is already mine. So, speak to the universe in the only language it understands. Assumption, belief, and unwavering certainty, and watch how reality bends in your favor. The universe does not respond to pleading, desperation, or wishful thinking. It responds to certainty. It mirrors back not what you beg for, but what you assume to be true. This is the fundamental principle that governs creation. Most people make the mistake of thinking that if they just ask enough, if they just plead hard enough, the universe will eventually grant their desires. But this approach is rooted in lack. It is a declaration that what you want is not already yours. When you beg for something, you are reinforcing the idea that you do not have it. And because the universe is a mirror, it simply reflects that state back to you. More lack, more waiting, more hoping, but never the fulfillment of your desire. Consider for a moment the nature of reality. Everything that exists in your life right now is a reflection of your dominant assumptions. The beliefs you carry, whether conscious or unconscious, shape your experience. If you believe that success is difficult, life will continuously show you obstacles. If you assume that love is fleeting, relationships will slip through your fingers. If you expect financial struggle, money will always seem to be just out of reach. You are not simply experiencing life, you are projecting it. The secret is understanding that assumption creates reality. The moment you assume something as fact, the universe sets events in motion to confirm that assumption. It is not a question of effort or struggle, it is simply the natural law at work. Just as a seed, once planted, grows effortlessly into the plant it was destined to be, your assumptions unfold into your life without force. The question then is not how to receive your desire, but who you are being in relation to it. Are you assuming the state of the one who already possesses it, or are you constantly reinforcing the idea that it is something separate from you? The key is to embody the feeling of your wish fulfilled. If you desire wealth, walk in the world as though you are already abundant. If you desire love, carry yourself as someone who is deeply cherished. If you desire health, assume the state of perfect well-being. It is not about pretending or deceiving yourself. It is about recognizing that the version of you who has what you seek already exists in a higher state of consciousness. There is no separation between you and your desire, except for the illusion created by your own doubts. The moment you drop the belief that it is distant, the moment you stop treating it as something to be achieved someday, it becomes yours. Because in truth, it was never apart from you to begin with. The only thing that was missing was your assumption of it. Many wonder why their desires seem to take so long to manifest. The answer is simple: they waver. One moment they assume it is done. The next they check their circumstances, looking for signs, doubting, questioning. This back and forth creates resistance. The universe cannot bring you what you are unsure about. It only delivers certainty. The moment you declare something to be yours with absolute confidence, without needing proof, without needing validation, reality reshapes itself to match that conviction. Think of the air you breathe. Do you worry about whether there will be enough oxygen for you in the next moment? No, because you assume that it is always there. You do not beg for air. You do not question its existence. You simply breathe, knowing it is available. This is the level of certainty you must bring to your desires. The world will tell you to work harder, to try more, to push against circumstances. But none of that is necessary when you understand the power of assumption. The external world is only a shadow of your internal state. Change the assumption and the world must conform. It has no choice. So stop asking, stop pleading, stop treating your desire as something far away. Assume it. Live in it. Let the feeling of having it now consume you. And in that moment, it is done. The universe has heard you, and because it cannot fail to reflect your assumption, it is only a matter of time before what was once unseen becomes undeniable reality. Your inner world is the blueprint of your reality. Every thought you repeat, every silent conversation you have with yourself is a direct communication with the universe. You are always speaking, always creating, whether you realize it or not. The question is, what are you saying? Most people believe that their reality is shaped by external events, but the truth is that everything begins within. The thoughts you entertain, the words you silently whisper to yourself, and the beliefs you reinforce in your mind are constantly forming the world around you. The universe is not separate from you. It is a perfect mirror, reflecting back the contents of your consciousness. If you find yourself struggling, if life seems to be filled with obstacles, take a moment to observe your inner dialogue. Are you constantly affirming lack? Are you silently repeating stories of failure, doubt, or limitation? The words you speak within are far more powerful than the words you say out loud. A person may verbally declare, "I am successful," but if their inner conversation is filled with thoughts of inadequacy and fear, the universe will respond to the dominant inner belief, not the outward declaration. You cannot speak of abundance in your mind while feeling scarcity in your heart and expect wealth to flow into your life. You cannot hope for love while silently believing you are unworthy of it. The universe does not respond to empty words. It responds to conviction. What you persistently affirm within, whether in fear or in faith, manifests into your world. Many are unaware that they are constantly engaged in self-talk. It happens in moments of silence, in those quiet spaces between actions, in the way you react internally when facing challenges. If you want to change your life, you must first change your inner conversations. You must speak to yourself as if you are already the person you wish to become. Imagine for a moment that you are already living your ideal life. How would you speak to yourself? What words would dominate your thoughts? Would you still dwell on doubt, or would your inner dialogue be filled with confidence and certainty? The key to transformation lies in assuming this new conversation now, not tomorrow, not when circumstances change, but in this very moment. This is not about forced positivity or suppressing emotions. It is about consciously directing your thoughts to align with what you desire. It is about catching yourself when negative inner chatter arises and shifting it to something empowering. If your mind repeats, "I can't," you must replace it with, "I am more than capable." If it whispers, "It's not working," you must affirm, "It is already done." You must persist in this new mental dialogue until it becomes your natural way of thinking. In the beginning, it may feel unnatural, but with repetition, it becomes second nature. And when it does, your external world will begin to change. Opportunities will arise where there were none before. Doors will open effortlessly. Circumstances will shift to reflect your new internal state. The world will tell you that change requires hard work, struggle, and endless effort. But true transformation begins with the mind. A person who shifts their inner conversations does not need to chase after things. They are drawn to them naturally. The successful do not achieve greatness because they are different. They achieve it because they think differently. They expect success. They assume abundance. They believe in their own power. And because they believe it within, the universe delivers it without. Your inner conversations are the foundation of your reality. If you wish to see a new world, you must first create it within. Speak to yourself as the person you desire to be. Think from the place of already having it. And as you do, the universe will faithfully reflect your assumption, bringing your desires into form with effortless precision. The universe does not respond to mere words. It responds to the energy behind them. It is not what you say, but what you feel that shapes your reality. Feeling is the secret language of creation, the bridge between thought and manifestation. If you wish to receive what you desire, you must go beyond words and embody the feeling of already having it. Many people believe that if they say the right affirmations, repeat enough prayers, or visualize with perfect clarity, their desires will come to pass. But words spoken without feeling are empty. They do not move the universe. You can say, "I am wealthy" 1,000 times, but if you feel broke, if your inner state is filled with fear and lack, the universe will reflect that feeling back to you. It is not about saying you have something, it is about knowing it, feeling it, living in that state before it appears. Feeling is the signal you send out, and the universe faithfully echoes it back. This is why two people can say the same words, yet get entirely different results. One person affirms their success with absolute confidence, with an unshakable inner state that aligns with their words. The other says the same words, but feels doubt, anxiety, or impatience. The universe responds not to the words, but to the dominant feeling behind them. If you desire wealth, you must not simply wish for it. You must feel as though you are already wealthy. What does it feel like to wake up in abundance? How does your body relax when you know you are financially free? What kind of confidence do you carry when you know that money flows to you effortlessly? These are the feelings you must embrace. Not someday, not when circumstances change, but now. If you desire love, you must not feel lonely while hoping for love to come. You must assume the feeling of already being deeply loved. How does it feel to be cherished, to be valued, to be in a relationship where you are completely adored? You must let that feeling take root in your heart, allowing it to become your dominant emotional state. When you do, love cannot help but appear, for the universe must reflect your assumption. Most people get caught in the trap of waiting. They wait for evidence, for signs, for confirmation, before they allow themselves to feel the joy of their desire fulfilled. But this is backward. You do not wait for reality to change before you feel it. You feel it first, and then reality changes. This is the great secret of creation. The feeling precedes the event. To master this, you must learn to dwell in the state of your wish fulfilled. You must live from the end, embodying the emotions of already having what you desire. This is not pretending or daydreaming. It is a conscious shift in being. It is an inner conviction so strong that nothing in the outer world can shake it. When you persist in this feeling, when you refuse to waver, the universe must respond. Silence is not emptiness. It is not a void. It is a powerful language, a direct form of communication with the universe. Most people believe that only spoken words, affirmations, and prayers shape their reality. But the deepest transformations happen in stillness. It is in silence that you align with your desires, that you connect with the infinite intelligence within you, and that the external world begins to mirror your inner state. In a world filled with noise, distractions, and endless activity, people have forgotten the power of stillness. They believe they must constantly talk, plan, and struggle to make things happen. But true creation does not require force, it requires alignment. And alignment happens when the mind is quiet, when doubts dissolve, and when you enter a state of deep knowing. Stillness and silence are not passive acts. They are an active form of communication with the universe. When you sit in silence, you are not simply doing nothing. You are allowing your energy to recalibrate, your mind to settle, and your inner wisdom to guide you. It is in these moments that you become receptive, that answers come, and that your desires begin to take shape in the unseen. The universe responds to certainty, not desperation. If you feel anxious, if you are constantly questioning when your manifestation will appear, you are sending a signal of doubt. But when you enter silence, when you surrender the need to control and instead trust that all is unfolding perfectly, you communicate faith. And faith is the language the universe understands best. Many people think they need to constantly affirm their desires out loud, repeat them over and over, as if the universe has not heard them the first time. But this is unnecessary. The moment you have imagined something and truly felt it to be real, it is already in motion. What delays it is the constant questioning, the overthinking, the inner chatter that contradicts your assumption. Silence dissolves this resistance. When you quiet your mind, you enter a state of allowing. You step into a space where you no longer feel the need to chase, push, or struggle. Instead, you become a magnet. The things you once worked so hard for begin to move toward you effortlessly. Why? Because you are no longer vibrating at the frequency of lack. You are aligned with the energy of already having it. There is a deep intelligence in stillness. In silence, you connect with your higher self, the part of you that already knows the path, the timing, and the way. When you stop trying to figure everything out, when you stop filling every moment with thoughts and words, you create space for divine guidance. Solutions appear. Inspired action arises naturally. You no longer force, you flow. Being internally at peace is the most powerful state you can be in. It is the state of total trust, where you no longer worry, doubt, or seek validation from the outside world. You know that everything is working in your favor, and because you know it, the universe aligns to reflect that truth. If you want to see real change in your life, practice silence. Sit in stillness, not to ask, not to beg, but to listen. Listen to the quiet whispers of your soul. Feel the presence of your desires already fulfilled. Let go of the need to control and simply be. The more you cultivate silence, the more clarity you gain. The more clarity you gain, the more effortless your manifestations become. The world around you is only an echo of your inner world. When you are still, when you are calm, when you hold the deep knowing that what you desire is already yours, the external world has no choice but to rearrange itself to match that energy. Silence is a conversation with the infinite. It is the space where all creation begins. Enter it often, trust in its power, and watch as the universe responds in ways beyond what words could ever achieve. You do not need to create anything. You do not need to force, struggle, or make something happen. Everything you desire already exists. The wealth you seek, the love you crave, the success you envision, it is all already here, existing as a reality just as valid as the one you're experiencing now. Your only task is to align with it, to step into the version of you that already has it. Most people live under the illusion that they must bring things into existence, that they must work endlessly to create their dreams. But this is not true. Every possible reality already exists, like channels on a television. If you are watching a program you dislike, you do not need to create a new one from scratch. You simply change the channel. Reality works the same way. You are not creating, you are tuning in, selecting, choosing which version of yourself you will embody. There is a version of you that is wealthy. There is a version of you that is deeply loved. There is a version of you that is free, fulfilled, and at peace. These versions are not imaginary, they are just as real as your current experience. The reason you are not living them yet is because you have not fully aligned with them. You have not stepped into the state of being that matches that version of yourself. Your state of being, your thoughts, emotions, and assumptions, determines the reality you experience. If you constantly think from lack, if you feel doubt, if you assume things are difficult, then you are aligning with a version of reality where your desires remain out of reach. But the moment you shift your state, the moment you assume the feeling of already having what you desire, everything begins to change. Think of it this way. If you were already successful, already abundant, already loved, how would you think? How would you feel? How would you move through the world? Begin to embody that now, and reality will shift accordingly. The outer world is only a reflection of your inner state. Change your state, and the world around you must change to match it. This is not about pretending or faking it. It is about knowing, deeply knowing, that you are already the person who has what you desire. When you walk with that certainty, when you refuse to entertain thoughts of lack or fear, the universe has no choice but to align with your assumption. The mistake many people make is waiting for evidence before they believe. They wait to see money in their bank account before they feel wealthy. They wait for love to appear before they feel loved. But this is backward. The feeling must come first. The belief must come first. You must claim it internally before you see it externally. If you want to step into a new reality, start by shifting your assumptions. Stop thinking of your desires as something far away, something you need to chase. Instead, see them as done. Feel the relief, the gratitude, the joy of already having them. Speak, act, and move through the world as if you are already that version of yourself. This is not about effort. It is about awareness. The moment you become aware that everything already exists, that you are simply choosing your reality, life becomes effortless. You stop forcing, you stop worrying, you stop doubting. You step into a flow where things unfold naturally, where opportunities come easily, where you no longer chase but attract. Nothing is missing. Nothing is out of reach. The reality you desire is already here. The only question is, will you align with it? Will you allow yourself to be that version of you now? The choice is yours. It always has been. Gratitude is the language of certainty. It is the unshakable knowing that what you desire is already yours. When you express gratitude, you are not merely being polite or optimistic, you are affirming possession. You are speaking the language of completion, telling the universe that you recognize and accept your desire as fulfilled. This is why gratitude is one of the most powerful forces in manifestation. It accelerates the process by confirming that you are aligned with the reality you seek. Most people wait to feel grateful until after they receive what they want. They believe gratitude is a reaction to something happening. But true gratitude is not reactive, it is proactive. It is the embodiment of faith, the deep inner knowing that your desire is already on its way. When you give thanks in advance, you shift your state of being from one of lack to one of abundance, and the universe must respond accordingly. Imagine for a moment that you have already received what you desire. If you were holding the keys to your dream home, if you were standing in the reality of your fulfilled wish, wouldn't you naturally feel gratitude? Wouldn't you feel a deep sense of relief and joy? This is the feeling you must cultivate now. Gratitude is not about waiting. It is about bringing that feeling into the present moment, knowing that what you seek is already done. When you thank the universe in advance, you are making a declaration. You are saying, I believe, I trust, I know this is mine. And when your belief is unwavering, reality has no choice but to conform. The universe does not respond to doubt or hesitation. It responds to certainty. Gratitude seals that certainty in place. This is why the most effective way to manifest is to speak to the universe as if your desire is already yours. Do not ask as if you are lacking. Do not plead as if you are desperate. Instead, affirm and give thanks. Say, I am so grateful for my financial abundance. Say, I am so thankful for the love that surrounds me. Say, I am beyond grateful that my desires are unfolding perfectly. These statements do not leave room for uncertainty. They affirm completion. Gratitude shifts your focus from what is missing to what is present. The more you focus on what you already have, the more you attract. This is the nature of energy. Like attracts like. When you feel abundant, you attract abundance. When you feel loved, you attract love. When you feel successful, success follows. Gratitude places you in the energy of receiving. It removes resistance, allowing your desires to manifest quickly and effortlessly. Most delays in manifestation happen because of doubt, impatience, and contradictory inner conversations. People affirm their desires one moment, then question their reality the next. They wonder when it will happen, why it is taking so long, or if they are doing something wrong. This back and forth energy slows down the process. Gratitude eliminates this resistance. It keeps you anchored in the state of already having. When you are thankful, you are no longer waiting, you are knowing. Make gratitude your daily practice. Before you go to sleep, give thanks as if everything you desire is already done. When you wake up, express gratitude for the unfolding of your dreams. Let every thought, every word, every feeling be infused with the certainty that what you seek is already yours. This is how you communicate with the universe, not with need, not with desperation, but with unwavering gratitude. When you live in this state, reality bends in your favor. Doors open effortlessly. Opportunities flow to you. You no longer chase, you attract. Your desires are already here, waiting for you to claim them. Speak with gratitude, walk with certainty, and watch as the universe moves to meet you exactly where you are. The universe is always listening. Every thought, every feeling, every assumption is a conversation with the unseen forces shaping your reality. You are not separate from what you desire. You are always choosing, always aligning, always stepping into a version of yourself that already exists. Whether through inner conversations, deep feeling, silence, gratitude, or unwavering certainty, you are in constant dialogue with the infinite. You do not need to chase, beg, or struggle. Everything is already here waiting for your alignment. When you assume the feeling of already having, when you quiet the doubt and speak with gratitude, you step into the flow where manifestation happens naturally. The key is not effort but belief, not waiting but knowing, not hoping but embodying. Trust this process. Trust yourself. The power has always been within you. The moment you fully accept that truth, your world will transform in ways beyond your imagination. Thank you for allowing these words to reach you. May you step forward with confidence, speak to the universe with certainty, and receive everything that is already yours.